అందరికీ నమస్కారములు శుభోదయం శ్రీ మహాగణాధిపతయే నమః సరస్వత్యే నమః. Today is another good day for us that we are starting with a new topic that is Puranas by Dr. VV Raju garu. I will introduce him to all of you after Vande Mataram and Prarthana. So let us start with Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Malaya Jasitalam, Sasya Syamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram. Subrajosna pulakitayaminim pullakusumita drumadala shobhinim suhasinim sumadhura bhashinim sukhadam varadam mataram Vande Mataram Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram. ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిట్టిబాబు గారు. Now let us request Satyaji to chant Prarthana.
Namaskaram andarki. Let's do meditation for a minute. गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्. ॐ श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः. ॐ प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजे भिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्र्यवतु. ॐ श्री महासरस्वत्यै नमः. गुरुरेव गति गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे. न गुरोः परमं शशिरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो. ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शंकरं लोकशंकरं. शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्।
ధన్యవాదములండి సత్య గారు. Now let us introduce the speaker to all of you. 1 minute. Okay. Let me introduce the speaker to all of you. Dr. Bhaskar Raju garu is a practicing medical doctor. Although he is by profession is practicing orthopedic surgeon in Hyderabad, since last decade he has been spending much time studying religious history and other related books. His research included spirituality, theism, science, and logic, creation of universe, the earth, human history, and other supernatural objects. Though born in a Hindu family, he followed more of an atheistic outlook before. Being a science student, he always followed logic and has scientific temper. A casual discussion with some friends in 2013 raised a question to whether God exists or not. This led him to the reading and doing research on various religious books, which turned him towards spirituality and religious research. He came to know about the British and the communist conspiracies on Sanatana Dharma and our country. He came to know about how our religious textbooks, history were distorted to suit their agenda. He was horrified about the religious conversions taking place with view to change the demography of the country. He started activities in social media to express his views about this. He started to write books since 2019 to express his views. The translation of Veda in Telugu, which began in 2019, was completed in 2021 and was released as a 3,000 pages, 5 set of books in February 2022. In 2021, he wrote a book on Christianity and Bible titled as Riddles in Christianity. During the end of 2021, he released Satya Suvarta, another short book against Christian conspiracy to show Jesus in Vedas. He is about to release another book named No Riddles in Hinduism in Telugu shortly, which by now you would have already done it, which presents answers to commonly asked questions about Sanatana Dharma. Dr. Bhaskar Raju garu hopes that his books and social media activity helps to guide Hindus and Indians towards the truth. So it is my privilege to have introduced Dr. V.V. Raju garu to all of you. Now I request him to start the webinar on Puranas.
Thank you, sir. I think there is some problem with Zoom. It is not showing my video. So
It is showing now.
yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for introducing me to everybody. Actually, this is a wonderful topic which everybody should know, all Hindus should know. Basically, I will give a little bit of my presentation, which will enable everybody to understand how our literature has to be read. Though I am not I don't believe that I am very good at most of the scriptures, but from whatever understanding I have, I will be able to guide most of you as to how to read our scriptures. So my topic being the Puranic and Itihasic literature in Sanatana Dharma, how it has to be read. And then again, before going to Puranas and Itihasas, we already know that our scriptures are divided into Smritis, Shruti, all these categories, and particularly the 4 Vedas, which are supposed to be divided by Vyasa Bhagavan into Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharvana Veda. But all these corpus of Veda used to be under single heading. But for people of Kali Yuga, because we are supposed to be very less intelligent, so he has classified all these Veda mantras into 4 categories. But again, Vedic literature contains only 3 types of mantras: Ruks, Yajus, and Samans. So it is also called Triveda. Then Atharvana Veda actually contains all 3 types of mantras. So basically we have 4 Vedas, but based on the types of mantras, there are 3 Vedas, that is Triveda. And again, we already know that each Vedic corpus has a Samhita part, which is essentially the mantras, which go into detail of how creation has happened. And then Brahmanas, Aranyakas, which will explain the mantra bhaga and all that. And Upanishad is the Vedanta, so essential knowledge of Vedic literature, which is summarized again in Upanishad. All these 4 components together, they are called Vedas. So coming back to Puranas, I want to give my lecture in 5 categories, as you can understand the bullet points. There is a saying that Itihasas and Puranas are not authenticated scriptures of Veda. Whenever people talk about which Sanatana Dharma scriptures are authenticated, which can be believed, which cannot be believed. So they say only Vedas are authenticated scriptures and Puranas and Itihasas are not. Then again, for somebody who has already read Vedas, you see that the names of the avatars are not there in Vedas. For example, the avatar of Rama or Krishna or any other gods which are mentioned in Puranas are not there in Vedas. So why is this? Do you mean that there is contradiction in Vedic literature? Like example, Vedas don't authenticate Puranas and Itihasas. So it is not like that. And then there is again a common saying that particularly when you talk with some Christians or some Muslims, they say that you have so many gods. They say that you have 33 crores of gods. You don't have a single God. So who is your God? This is a commonly asked question. But when somebody has read all this Puranic literature, we are more clearer than them. We have more clarity than them of who is Supreme God. And then you come across some people trying to blame Sanatana Dharma based on hearsay knowledge. And recently you must have heard a person called Bhairi Naresh who was abusing our gods. And there is a saying that Shivalinga means it's some bad thing. You should not do Abhisheka of Shivalinga. It is something bad. So what is all about it? So again, when you go to Puranas, there are actually three categories of Puranas. So particularly the Tamasa Puranas, which are there, you have to be very, very careful when you read Tamasa Puranas, because if you don't read Tamasa Puranas carefully, you tend to misunderstand whatever is given there. So that you have to understand. And then the fifth important point is, they say there are a lot of contradictions in Puranas. I'll give an example of Puranic contradiction, that the birth of Vinayaka, it is described differently in Shiva Purana, whereas in Brahma Vaivarta Purana, it is described differently. So do you mean to say that there are contradictions? So why is this contradiction very important? See, there is a common saying that if there is a contradiction in any dharmic literature, you take example of either Bible or Quran or any other Purana, if there is a contradiction, it essentially means that it is not divine. So anything which is divine should not have any contradiction. So is there any contradiction in Puranas? So I will take these 5 points and try to give a just gist of it. I will not be able to cover most of the 5 topics in detail in 1.5 hours, but I will try to give a gist of it. So the first thing is there any, what do you mean to say? Puranas and Itihasas, they are not authenticated. That is what people say. Particularly, we have a lot of, I don't say religious sects. Sometimes I call them as cults also. Don't misunderstand me that way. We have a very good organization. It is called Arya Samaj. These Arya Samaj people generally, they don't believe in Puranas and Itihasas. They say that Itihasas and Puranas, they have a lot of interpolations. They even try to remove many of the slokas from Bhagavad Gita. They say that it is impossible for Lord Krishna to deliver 700 slokas in Bhagavad Gita. So they try to cut down most of the slokas, because they say once on one way, some Mahabharata war is going on, and then Arjuna has Mohabhanga, so he says he won't fight war. So in that short time, there is no chance that 700 slokas can be recited. But basically, we have to understand that these 700 slokas are not recited by Arjuna and Lord Krishna alone. There are some slokas which are attributed to Sanjaya, because Sanjaya is being asked by Dhritarashtra. So you have to take the context of it. And another point is that Vyasa has given all these slokas in some chandas form. So as an author, he divides all this essential conversation between Lord Krishna and Arjuna as slokas. But essentially, it is not the same with whatever discussion has gone between Arjuna and Lord Krishna. So there are good organizations. In fact, Arya Samaj was one of the organizations which has fought for independence also, which has fought for Hindus' rights. So I don't blame that Arya Samaj has done some bad work, but probably they have misunderstood Itihasas and Puranas based on their understanding. So what is more authenticated as far as Hindu scriptures are concerned? So I will also go to Puranas, but when you read Vedas, you come across a lot of Veda mantras where directly or indirectly there are some mantras which talk about parts of divine personalities. Like when you speak about Indra holds a Vajrayudha in his hand. So how is that when gods are Nirguna is without any form, how can they hold Vajrayudha in his hand? And then there are some mantras in Rigveda which speak about Indra having a beautiful chin, Davada. So how is that Veda mantras talk about Indra's chin being beautiful? So indirectly, there are a lot of mantras in Vedas which speak about God, divinely personalities having some form. So that is one aspect. Then I'll come back to Puranas. How does Puranas authenticate that Puranas are very, very authenticated? So I have taken some of the slokas from Devi Bhagavata because Devi Bhagavata tries to interrelate most of the Puranas. And of course, there are Bhagavata Purana also. I'll also come to that. So see, there are about 18 Puranas and 18 Upapuranas. But again, these 18 Puranas need not be same in each Kalpa. I'll also come to what is Kalpa because there is something called Kalpa Veda. In every Kalpa, 18 Puranas need not be same. They will keep on changing. And then there are 18 Upapuranas. So totally you have about 36 Puranas. And the Puranas which we have right now, there are some close to 4 lakh slokas are there in Puranas. So it's a very, very huge amount of slokas. All these Puranas, if you want to read, it will take about 15 to 20 years to understand them, what Puranas essentially is like. So even I have not read all these 4 lakh slokas. I have read most of the important Puranas from where I am giving this gist. So each Purana is being told by somebody to somebody. It's a discussion. So some Rishi will ask his Guru, what is this? So that Guru will start telling about this Purana. So when I come to Devi Bhagavata, in Devi Bhagavata, Vishnu is asking Devi Bhagavati, that is the supreme divine Amavaru, and she is narrating this Devi Bhagavata to Vishnu. This is how each Purana is being narrated to somebody. So in Devi Bhagavata, of course, there are 12 books. So in the second book, in chapter 2, these slokas say that during advent of Kali, so Kali is coming. So what Vedavyasa has done is, he has expanded the Vedas by many shakas, and he has also composed 18 Puranas, Samhitas, and Mahabharata. So this is what the Devi Bhagavata says. So here we are also coming across this concept of Kali Yuga coming in every Mahayuga. In every Mahayuga, there are 4 yugas. Each Mahayuga is 43 lakhs 20,000 years. So right now we are in Kali Yuga. We are actually in the Sandhi period of Kali Yuga. So in every Mahayuga, Kali Yuga comes. So during Kali Yuga, there is Veda Vyasa. And Veda Vyasa is not a name, it's a post. So right now we are in Kali Yuga. During this Kali Yuga, Krishna Dvaipayana is the Veda Vyasa. So he has divided these Vedas into 4 categories, and he has also composed 18 Puranas, including Mahabharata. So that is what the Purana says. So in Devi Bhagavata, there is a wonderful sloka in which Narayana is saying, Shruti and Smruti are the 2 eyes of the God, and Puranam is his heart. So essentially, Lord Vishnu is saying that both are important. The Veda part is important, and the Puranic part is also important. The Smruti is also very important. And in fact, he says, Puranam is his heart. So Purana you cannot neglect, just like Arya Samaj says that Purana we cannot believe, there are so many contradictions. It is not like that. Purana is essential part of the Sanatana scripture, without which we cannot know what is the history of it. And of course, this sloka is very, very important in that it says whatever is being stated in Shruti, Smruti and Purana is Dharma. So essentially, if you want to understand what is Dharma, you have to read all of them. And whatever is written in other Shastras is not Dharma. So you have to read Vedas, Upanishads, and also Puranas, Itihasas. Only then you will understand what is the Dharma. And then, of course, there will be some differences. Differences may be there in our understanding, but these are not contradictions. So where you will find some difference between Shruti and Smruti, that is Purana, you have to take the final word of Shruti. Shruti is nothing but Veda. So now today we get some interpolated slokas in Manusmriti. So when there are interpolated slokas in Manusmriti, then we have to finally accept what is given in Veda. What is not given in Veda, you can directly remove these slokas from Manusmriti. And even in Puranas. So whatever Smruti disagrees with Purana, know that Smruti is more authoritative. So what is the authority? The Veda is authority. Then you will come to Dharma Shastras and Puranas. So that is the sequence with which we take as authority. So what is against Veda, you cannot accept. So what Veda doesn't propose, you should straight away remove it. So when you take the authority of Vedic scriptures, you have to put this way: Vedas, then Dharma Shastras and Puranas and Itihasas. This is the sequence. Why we have to know all this? See, we today our dharma is being attacked by almost 3 categories of people. The first category of people are the communists. They try to misinterpret all our scriptures to forward their agenda. And of course, there are people of other 2 religions in our India. Their primary aim is to convert Hindus into their religion. If they want to convert, the only way they can convert is they should show our scriptures in very poor light. Without doing this, they cannot convert any Hindu to their religion. So we have to know what is the authority of the scripture and what is the concept of our Vedas and Puranas. So this is the authority part of the first question. So next question is, why are avatars of Vishnu like Rama and Krishna are missing in Vedas? This is the commonly asked question. So this is one of the basis for Arya Samaj to claim that Puranas are not authenticated scriptures. See, basically, Vedic literature, it doesn't talk about avatars. It talks about the divine powers of the Supreme Being. So what are the divine powers of Supreme Being as per Vedas? Indra, Agni, Vayu. These are the divine powers of Supreme Being. So you compare all these divine powers with building material. This is very easy to understand. So if I want to construct a house, what are the what are the essential elements to build a house? You need mud and clay, then you need bricks, you need sand, you need cement. Then to construct doors, you need timber and wood. Then you need some fabric, glass, all this plastic material. See, these are all the building materials of to construct a house. So compare all these building materials with divine powers. So what are the divine powers? Indra, Varuna, all these are building materials of universe. So you don't get all these names. You get all these building material names in Vedas, like Indra, Varuna, and all this. But you don't get, for example, I will take one more example. See, gold is there. With gold, you can build, you can make anything. You can make rings, you can make chains, you can make everything. But what is the essential raw material? That is gold. So like that, the names of the avatars will not be there in Vedas, but they are there in Krishna Yajurveda. Some of the names are there in Krishna Yajurveda. It is not like that they are directly revealed. There will be some hints in Vedas. That's why there is a confusion. Again, one more important point is Arya Samaj, they don't accept Krishna Yajurveda at all. Why? Why? Because there are some names of Krishna and of Lord Rama in Krishna Yajurveda. That's why they don't accept Krishna Yajurveda. They accept the Shukla Yajurveda. So whatever is convenient to them, they will accept it. Otherwise, they don't accept Krishna Yajurveda. They'll accept everything. And then often they quote that Veda says, Na tasya pratima asti. God doesn't dwell in idols. But the problem is, if Na tasya pratima asti is true, that God doesn't have idols, then the entire Puranas and Itihasas will become false. But thing is, this Na tasya pratima asti, this mantra itself is misquoted. Because when I say pratima, pratima doesn't always mean idols. Pratima, if you go to Sanskrit word, the meaning of pratima, it has 18 meanings. Pratima has 18 meanings. One of the meaning is measure. Measure means qualata. So when mantra says Natasya pratima, it means that God doesn't have a measure. He is infinite. That is the meaning of mantra. It doesn't mean that God doesn't have idol. And of course, there are a lot of mantras in Bhagavad Gita also. I am quoting Manushyam Tanumashritam, that God can incarnate as human. So there are a lot of mantras in Shukla Yajurveda which are often misquoted by organizations like Arya Samaj. Unfortunately, Arya Samaj, institutions like Arya Samaj, they give weapons to people like Zakir Naik, who quote often that Natasya Pratima Asti. He relates all these mantras to his own God in his own religion, and he misguides most of the Hindus. So we should be very, very careful. Then I will come to next topic, which is very, very important. People often ask, who is the supreme God as per Puranas and Itihasas? So for that, we have to read all the scriptures of Puranic literature. That is 18 Puranas we have to read. So when you read, as per Puranas, the supreme being in our dharma is Lord Krishna. Then again, when I say Lord Krishna, you will say, but Lord Krishna took avatar only some 5,000 years ago during Mahabharata time, but he was not there before. That is the common understanding for most of us. But thing is, if you read all the Puranas, it clearly says that Lord Krishna existed even before Mahabharata. That's why when you take Bhagavad Gita, it is very, very clear. Aham Adirhi Devanam. I am the source of all gods and sages. That is what Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. And you will get ample slokas in Bhagavad Gita which say something like that. You take Bhagavad Gita slokas, he says, I am the supreme being. There is nothing supreme to me. So in most of the Bhagavad Gita slokas, Krishna claims that he is the supreme God. So can we take that? Exactly, we can take that. Because if you read all the Puranas, it concludes that Lord Krishna is the supreme being. From him only all of the other gods have come. So that is the essence of most of the Puranas. It is there in Bhagavata. It is there in Devi Bhagavata. In most of the Puranas, if you read, all the Puranas claim that Lord Krishna is supreme being. Then when I say Lord Krishna is the supreme being, you should get doubt. But in Shiva Purana, Shiva says that I am the supreme being. In Vishnu Purana, Vishnu says I am the supreme being. Then I go to Devi Bhagavata, Devi says I am the supreme being. What is this confusion? There is actually no confusion. Whichever Purana is somebody is quoting. If Devi Bhagavata is quoting Devi as saying that she is the supreme being, according to Devi Bhagavata, she is supreme. There is no confusion in that. I will also describe, I will also give a clarification on this. So I will take Devi Bhagavata because why? Because Devi Bhagavatas try to correlate all the Puranas together. Then I'll also go to Bhagavata Purana. So in Devi Bhagavata, there is a sloka which says like this. I am reading English translation, but I advise all of you not to read English translations or Telugu translations directly. You have to always correlate with the Sanskrit slokas because mistranslations are very, very, very common in our scriptures because most of these Puranas are written by people who have a communist background. And the communist background is one which is very, very dangerous to our dharma. So here in Devi Bhagavata, somebody is asking, see why Krishna is worshipping Parvati and Mahadeva? Does it mean that Krishna was inferior to Mahadeva and Parvati? This is my doubt. So you see a common pattern in most of the Hindu scriptures that somebody is asking somebody some question and that person is asking. There is a saying that Sanatana Dharma doesn't stand for Tarka. But the only religion in the world which can stand for Tarka is Sanatana Dharma. This is what Ambedkar says. Ambedkar says if there is a debate between religions, only religion which will stand for Tarka, for logic is Sanatana Dharma. Rest of the religions, they don't stand for Tarka. This is what Ambedkar said. Of course, he was good at some parts of our scriptures. He was very bad at some scriptures. So here somebody is asking, if Supreme Being is Krishna, why is he worshipping Parvati and Mahadeva? So for that, the Devi will answer all that. Lord Hari is supreme. Lord Narayana is the incarnate of Vishnu. So I will give one example. See, this is one sloka where see, I have said that Devi Bhagavata is being narrated by Devi herself. So Shiva is the god of the gods. That's why he is called Mahadeva. He is the lord of all casual bodies that exist. And he is the creator of Vishnu and Vishnu worships him. So if you know the concept of creation in Sanatana Dharma, it is quite clear that if you have read Bhagavata Purana, it says that Supreme God is who? Krishna. From Krishna comes Sankarshana, Aniruddha, Vasudeva and Pradyumna. 4. From these 4, Chaturvyuha, rest of the creation has happened. Of course, there is something called Chaturvyuha that I will show. This Chaturvyuha you will actually see in Devi Bhagavata Purana. Not only in that, if you read Vishnu Sahasranama also, you will come across this concept of Chaturvyuha. Yeah. So in Devi Bhagavata, there is a sloka that from the right side of the Supreme Being Krishna comes Mula Prakruti. So when from Krishna and Mula Prakruti, a golden egg will come out. Again, when you see golden egg, some people will make fun of Sanatana Dharma, like what is this golden egg? See, when you actually go to science also, you will come across our universe being in an oval shape, extremely bright. That's why it is called a Hiranya Garbha. So from Krishna right side, two-armed Vasudeva will come. From left side, Narayana will come. From this Krishna only, Shiva will come out. Then from Mula Prakriti, Kamala will come, that is Lakshmi, and from right side, Radha will come out. So based on Bhagavata Purana also, all these forces of nature, that is Vishnu, Narayana, Vasudeva, Kamala, that is Lakshmi, and Radha, all these people have come from Vasudeva. So Krishna is the supreme personality according to Sanatana Dharma. I think I have made that clear. So I will again go back to Devi Bhagavata. So why is Krishna worshipping Parvati and Mahadeva? See, the greatness of Sanatana Dharma is very, very easy to understand. If Shiva is there, Shiva is being worshipped by Vishnu. There is a event in Puranas where Vishnu is worshipping Shiva. Again, Shiva, there are three categories of Shiva. When I say Shiva, it doesn't mean only one personality. There is somebody called Sadashiva, and then there is somebody called Maheshwara, and then there is somebody called Rudra. All these are Shiva Tattvas, but they are not same. Sadashiva is the supreme aspect of Shiva Tattva, and then there is Maheshwara, then there is somebody called Rudra. From Sadashiva, Srihari has come. So I will show you a very, very important sloka, which is very important to understand. So in Devi Bhagavata, here it is there. The superiority of Devi is established. So the Devi is supreme. Vishnu is superior to Brahma. Then Rudra is superior to Vishnu. But there is no doubt can arise in Krishna. So essentially what I mean to say is that there is a hierarchy system in Sanatana Dharma. There is a hierarchy system. So what is the hierarchy system? So I will show a very, very important sloka which will make you understand how this Sanatana Dharma concept is there. Okay. So from Krishna, the Supreme Mother has come. She is there. She actually creates all the multiverse universes, and through her, all these universes will come. So, yeah, 1 minute. I was not a little bit ready for today's session. So there is an important, beautiful sloka. So our Sanatana Dharma actually, it doesn't talk about single universe. It talks about multiple universes. That is called, today it is called as multiverse universe. So that is what our Sanatana Dharma speaks about. So I think I will cover that first, then I will come to how the Sanatana Dharma works. So there is a beautiful event being described in Devi Bhagavata, where generally we are being told in most of the movies and by our gurus that there are only 3%, that is Tridev, that is Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara in every universe. But it is not true. According to Sanatana Dharma, there are billions of universes which are created and which get destroyed everywhere continuously. That's why it is called Sanatana Dharma. So in Devi Bhagavata, there is an important event where Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara are being created, but they don't know how to make a creation. They are being created by Devi. So what they do is they will worship Devi and the Devi will appear. So once the Devi appears, they say, Devi, we are being created. That is Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, we are being created, but we don't know what to do. How to create earth, how to create stars. We don't know anything. There are no Panchabhutas also. Here in this sloka it is there. No 5 elements, no Pancha Tanmatras, no Gunas. Nothing is there. So how should we create this universe? So for that, Devi will smile and she will create a wonderful, beautiful car. And she'll say, oh Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, get into this car. I will show you how to create. So what this Devi does is, she will take these 3 people, that is Brahma, Vishnu and Rudra into that car. She will take these 3 people to another universe. So what will happen there? When they go to another universe, they will see that there is another Brahma in that world, that universe. So he has Vedas also, and there are rivers, there are oceans, there are lot of earths. So these people they will get surprised. So Vishnu and Maheshwara, they are asking, oh Brahma, who is this Brahma? We thought that you are the only Brahma in this world, but there is another world, there is another Brahma. So this Brahma is saying, I don't know who is this Brahma. I thought I am the only Brahma here. And then Devi will take these 3 people to another Kailasa, where there is a five-faced Shashishekara, that is Rudra, and he has same tiger skin, upper garments, everything like that. So these people get surprised. There is another Shiva in another Kailasa. And then Devi will take these 3 people in a car to another Vaikunta. Then there is another Vishnu. So these people, they are literally like surprised. We thought that we are the only Lord Vishnu, Maheshwara and Rudra, but there is another universe where similar people are there. So she will show all these 3 Rudra, Maheshwara and Vishnu in another universe. They'll come back there and then they'll create this universe. So basically what I am trying to say is, Sanatana Dharma doesn't propose only one universe like the other religions. I don't want to actually compare with another religions, but for the understanding of other people, it is very, very important that we should understand what Sanatana Dharma says. Sanatana Dharma speaks about multiverse universe, that we have billions of universes which are being created every moment and then they are destroyed. So who is creating all these universes? So Devi is the supreme being. She is eternal. But who is she? Who is Devi? I have already shown that this Devi, this Maya is coming from Krishna. So you must have got some idea that Krishna is the supreme being. From Krishna, Devi has come. And from these 2 people, all this Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, the multiverses have come into being. And again, she is very, very important. And again, they are present every time. Her origin, who is Devi? Now imagine a religion where only males are said to be supreme. If you take to other religion, the supreme gods are described as males only. But in our dharma, the supreme being, one of the being, is a female, Devi. So again, it is very, very important. Yeah, so I will show you one sloka. This is very, very important sloka from Devi Bhagavata. So what is it saying? O ruler of the endless crores of Brahmandas, she is Maheshwari. So imagine a religion where the creator, Devi, is essentially creating billions of universes, and she runs the entire show under the leadership of Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra. So this is the beauty of our universe. It talks about billions of universes. So, but again, who is the supreme being? Lord Krishna is the supreme being. And this is a very, very important sloka to understand the structure of universe according to Sanatana Dharma. So this sloka says that Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, and Ishvara are the 4 feet. See, the universe is being compared like a chair. So what are the parts of the chair? There is a plank on which somebody will sit, and then there are 4 chairs, 4 legs. So what are the 4 legs? Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, and Ishvara. These are the 4 legs. Again, if you understand carefully, Rudra is different. Ishvara, that is Maheshwara, is different. Maheshwara is the Saguna Brahma. Saguna is the Shiva with a form. Nirguna is the Shiva who doesn't have a form. Who is that? That is Sadasiva. So Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra. Rudra is son of Brahma. Then Ishvara is the Saguna form of Shiva. Sadasiva is the Nirguna form of Shiva. So there are 4 legs on which Sadasiva is the plank. On this Sadasiva, on this plank, Devi is being seated. So Devi is the supreme being of every universe. Next to Devi, Sadasiva. Next to Sadasiva, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, and Maheshwara are the other supreme beings. After Brahma, you have Indra, Varuna, all these gods. They all come after Brahma. So this is the structure of the universe in Sanatana Dharma. Hope I am not confusing. If I am confusing, I will clarify all this later on. So this is the structure. Who is the supreme being according to Sanatana Dharma? Lord Krishna. So this is a sloka which says that out of the will of Sri Krishna to create the world comes out Mula Prakriti. Mula Prakriti is the Devi. She is the controller of the universe. So who is the supreme being according to Sanatana Dharma? Krishna is the supreme being. There is no confusion in our religion. If you go to other religion, particularly I will quote Christianity, they say Jehovah is the supreme God, but again they say there is something called Holy Spirit, and some people will say even Jesus is the God. So there is a confusion in them, but we don't have any confusion. So Krishna is the supreme being. And then coming to the 4th part. 4th part is are there any contradictions? Are there any contradictions in Sanatana Dharma? And again, how do you read Tamasa Puranas? See, most of the people will think that Shivalinga is something which is not good. But actually, if you read Puranas, particularly Linga Purana clearly says that Shivalinga is nothing but the entire universe, which has a Linga Akara. So the Sadasiva, who is the Nirguna form of Lord Shiva, that is nothing but Shivalinga. So when you read Tamasa Puranas, Particularly, there are some narrations in Puranas which are always you will always tend to be misguided. So where is the classification that a particular Purana is Tamasa Purana, Sattvika Purana, or Rajasa Purana? So in Garuda Purana, there are some slokas which says that Bhagavata Purana is the highest of the Puranas. Then what are the other Puranas? There are Kurma Purana, Matsya Purana, all these are Sattvika Puranas. So what are the Tamasa and Rajasa Puranas? Skanda Purana, Padma Purana, Vamana Purana, Varaha, Agni and Bhavisha, they are Rajasa Puranas. And then what are the Tamasa Puranas? Brahma Puranas, Brahmanda, Brahma Vaivarta, Linga, Markandeya and Aditya Puranas, these are Tamasa Puranas. Why they are very, very important? If you read Bhagavata, there is no confusion. But when you read some parts of Brahma Vaivarta, you will say that I am not getting a very good feeling when I read Brahma Purana, that Shiva is behaving in some awkward form, or Brahma is behaving in some awkward form. I don't feel right. You will get some instances where Brahma has created some female from his own body, and he falls into love with his own daughter. You will get some instances, but again there is a narration of why this has happened. So there are a lot of events in Tamasa Purana which you tend to misunderstand. But how can you understand all these Tamasa Puranas? You have to go to some gurus to understand these Tamasa Puranas, because there is no confusion in Sattvika Puranas. There are some very good events being written in Sattvika Puranas. There is no confusion. So there should be a question of why these Tamasa Puranas are narrated in the first place. So for this, Padma Purana gives a important sloka. They say that in Kali Yuga, lot of people will come who will mistranslate Tamasa Puranas. So he says that Sattvika Puranas are good. They will give salvation. They will give moksha. But Tamasa Puranas, they give you hell. But there are some people who say that Veda Vyasa has purposefully written these Tamasa Puranas. I will repeat again. Veda Vyasa has purposefully written Tamasa Puranas in that way that he says that in Kali Yuga, people will come with bad intention, like these communists, these Christians. They have bad intention to defame Sanatana Dharma. For them only, Tamasa Puranas are being written. Why? He wants these people to go to hell. I think I am confusing, but I will clarify again. Tamasa Puranas are purposefully written in Kali Yuga so that people with bad intention, they misread all these Puranas and they will go to hell. And the fifth point, I will have to rush here. Why there are contradictions in Puranas? Believe me, there are no contradiction in Puranas. You will come across contradictions in Puranas because you are not reading the original scriptures. Somebody will go to Google or somebody will go to some WhatsApp. So somebody will say something. They say that there are contradictions in Puranas. There are no contradictions. If you have a good guru, he will explain you based on his knowledge that there are no contradictions. Another common cause for contradictions is you don't know the language. For example, I have given an example that Natasya Pratima Asti. Pratima doesn't mean idol. Pratima means measure. So because you don't know Sanskrit language, you are trying to misinterpret the mantra. Misinterpreting the mantra. So there are no contradictions. Again, you should never read translations. You should always read the original sloka or mantra which is being given each Purana or the Veda. So I will, like I have already concluded. So I will talk about something called differences in Kalpa, that is called Kalpa Bheda. So what is Kalpa Bheda? So basically, if you have heard about the story of Lord Ganesha, how he was born. Classical example which is being described is Parvati will create one son who is Ganesha, then he is put there as a guard to her. Then Shiva comes, then there is a misunderstanding between this Ganesha and the other Ganas of Shiva, so they will fight. Then ultimately Shiva will remove the head of Ganesha, and then the head of some elephant is taken out and it is being put to Ganesha, and actual Ganesha is reborn again. This is being described in Shiva Purana. But when you go to Brahma Vaivarta Purana, there Shiva is not cutting the head of Ganesha here. Here Saturn, that is Shani. Shani is looking at Ganesha, and because of the Shani, the head of Ganesha is cut off. Then it is being replaced by the head of Lord, the elephant, the head of the elephant. So when you look at these two events, it is totally different. In Shiva Purana, the birth of Ganesha is different. In Brahma Vaivarta Purana, it is different. Why is this difference is there? Very simple. The Shiva Purana is describing about Shweta Kalpa. Again, this Shweta Kalpa is not the Shweta Varaha Kalpa which we are in. The Kalpa which we are in is the Shweta Varaha Kalpa. It is similar to Shweta Kalpa. But Brahma Vaivarta Purana belongs to different Kalpa. It is a different Kalpa where the birth of Lord Ganesha is totally different. This is called Kalpa Bheda. There are differences between each Kalpa. Actually, in every Kalpa there is Mahabharata, in every Kalpa there is Ramayana, in every Kalpa all this Prajapati is there, Sati is there. In every Kalpa everybody is there, but there are some minor differences. Those minor differences are described as Kalpa Bheda. So there are Kalpa Vedas in each Puranas, in each Kalpa, and then there are no contradictions. We have to read all of them. But based on all these events, you will understand that it is practically impossible for one's life to read all 18 Puranas, all 4 Vedas, and 108 Upanishads to understand. It is very, very difficult. But like we have to dedicate our life to try to understand the depth of Sanatana Dharma. So I will describe some events in Puranas of how much of logic is there in each Puranas. During each Kalpa, Brahma creates about 6 to 7 sons who are called mind-bonds. Manasaputra, they are called. So in Kalpa, in one Kalpa, Brahma creates 6 mind-born sons, that is Manasaputras. So after creating these sons, I said in most of the Puranas it is being described. Brahma creates another daughter, but she is actually not daughter. But this Brahma, what he does is he wants to marry his own daughter who is born to him. So these mind-born sons, they will abuse Brahma. That father, you have created all these people, but why do you want to marry your own daughter? But actually, bear in mind, that Brahma has not created these people with another wife. All these divine powers have come from Brahma. They doesn't mean that they are actual, she is not actually the daughter. So what Brahma does is, he curses all these 6 mind-born sons that they will be born as humans on earth. So first time, all these 6 mind-born sons are born as sons of Kalanemi. Kalanemi is one of the Rakshasa. So Brahma curses his 6 mind-born sons to be born 3 times on earth. So first time they are born as sons of Kalanemi, they are killed. Second time they are born as sons of Hiranyakashyap, they are killed. Third time they are born to Devaki, who are killed by Kamsa immediately after they are born. So after all these Amshas are born as 3 times, then they'll go back and join to Manasa Putras. I think I am a little bit confusing, but I'll try to understand all these 3 things. So there is a saying that whoever has been killed by Vishnu, they will attain moksha. This is what Uttarakanda of Ramayana says. So whoever is being killed by Vishnu should attain moksha. But you will come across a incident in Puranas where Jaya Vijaya are born 3 times again. First time as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipa. Second time they are born as Ravana and Kumbhakarna. Third time they are born as during Krishna's time. But there is a question in Vishnu Purana which says that you are saying that whoever is being killed by Vishnu, they should not born again, they should get moksha. But why is that Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipa are born again as Ravana and Kumbhakarna? So do you understand what I am saying? Whoever has been killed by Vishnu, they should not be born again. But Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipa, they are born again like Ravana and Kumbhakarna. Why are they born? So for this, the logic which is given by Vishnu Purana is very simple. When Hiranyaksha has been killed by Vishnu, he is killed as Varaha avatar. So Hiranyaksha thinks that I am not killed by Vishnu, I am killed by Varaha. When Hiranyakashipa is killed by Nrsimha avatar, he doesn't think that it is Lord Vishnu. It is some Nrsimha. He is half man and half Nrsimha, half lion. During Rama's time, Ravana thinks that Rama is not Vishnu, he is some human called Rama. Kumbhakarna also thinks in a similar way. So thing is, when Vishnu kills somebody, that person should realize that it is Vishnu. But thing is, during Hiranyaksha's or Hiranyakashipa's time, they are thinking that it is not Vishnu, it is some animal. During Rama's time also, Ravana and Kumbhakarna is also thinking that it is not Vishnu, it is some human being. So that's why they did not get moksha. But third time, these 2 people, of course, sometimes I forget. So they get moksha third time. Why? Because always they are abusing Krishna. Krishna is that, Krishna is this. Dantavakra and all these 2 people, they are always abusing Krishna. They get moksha because they know it is Vishnu. They are confirmed that it is Vishnu. So third time they attain moksha. Why? Because they know that this is Vishnu. So that's why they get moksha. So logic is never being missed in Puranas. It is always there. And logic is so much that you can correlate this Purana with other Purana, Shiva Purana with Vishnu Purana, Vishnu Purana with Shiva, all this Purana with Upa Puranas, there are literally no contradictions. And then there is a beautiful event in Ramayana. It is actually not there in Ramayana. You know about Maricha. He has taken the form of golden deer and he has been killed by Rama. But Ramayana doesn't describe that Maricha has attained moksha. Ramayana never speaks about this part. But this is being described in Devi Bhagavata. You have, if anybody has read Ramayana, Ravana comes to Maricha, he says that you attain a form of golden deer, you divert Rama and Lakshmana, you take Ramana and Lakshmana away from Sita so that I can kidnap, I can abduct Sita. But Maricha, he says, I don't do this. I will not do this. But then again, Ravana will blackmail Maricha. He says that if you don't do this, if you don't attain the form of golden deer and divert Rama and Lakshmana, I will kill you. You know, for which Maricha says that instead of being killed by you, I would prefer to be killed by Rama, because Rama is the form of dharma. So before being killed by Rama, Maricha is confirmed that Rama is nothing but Vishnu. Maricha is confirmed. That's why he says, Ramo Vigravan Dharmaha. That is what Maricha says in Ramayana. So Maricha is damn confirmed that Lord Rama is nothing but Vishnu. So when Rama kills Maricha, Maricha attains moksha. This is not described in Ramayana, but this is described in Devi Bhagavata. And Devi Bhagavata says that Maricha has attained moksha and he has reached Vaikunta. Devi Bhagavata also confirms that Maricha is none, but he was Jaya Vijaya's assistant. Jaya Vijaya's assistant. And then there is one more event in Devi Bhagavata, which is not told in Ramayana. It says that the Sita who was abducted by Ravana is actually not original Sita. It is Chaya Sita. It is Chaya Sita. But Ramayana doesn't speak about Chaya Sita. It speaks only about Sita. She is being abducted. So what is the purpose of Agni Pariksha? According to Ramayana, it is to test that Sita is pure. That is the purpose of Agni Pariksha. But according to Devi Bhagavata, the purpose of Agni Pariksha is not only to test Sita, but it is to get back Chaya Sita, original Sita. Chaya Sita will go into fire and original Sita will come back. That is the actual purpose of Agni Pariksha. So here you can correlate Ramayana with Devi Bhagavata. Like this, there are multiple events of why Rama is being born as a human. Rama is born as a human because of two curses which are being given by Shukracharya, Bhrigu Maharshi and Narada also. So you can correlate multiple events with Ramayana, with Mahabharata, with 18 Puranas. So our literature, our Sanatana Dharma is such a wonderful Dharma that there is no contradiction between any of the Puranas and 18 Mahapuranas or Upapuranas. It is such a wonderful dharma which correlates with all the 18 Puranas and Vedas. So I think I have given a little bit of confusion also, but I will, if there is any confusion, I would like to clarify also. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Rajgaru. I think now we'll start with chat questions. Please ask the question, not comments, only questions. Any doubts they have, just ask them. CC Babu garu.
Yeah, I'm starting on the chat box. The first question is, what are Tamasa Puranas?
Yeah. So Tamasa Puranas are those Puranas which have some narrations in them which are not good. I will give one example of Tamasa Purana, which is, I will take one example of Shiva Purana. In Shiva Purana, there are some narrations where Shiva will go to some Rishi Patnis and Rishis, and he will take some Shivalinga and he will dance there. He will dance. He has actually gone to test them, test the Rishis and Rishinis. But some of the communists, they have described this event in a very, very wrongful way. They say that Shivalinga means it is actually union of Yoni and Linga. They say it is very, very bad, but actually it is not like that. So Tamasa Puranas have a narration. If you don't read them properly, you tend to misunderstand these Puranas. Shivalinga, they say that it is union of Yoni and Linga. That is, it is very bad. That is what the communists say, but it is actually not like that. That's why we have to read Tamasa Puranas very, very carefully. There is they will portray Shivalinga as a vulgar thing, but actually it is not there. Okay. So that's why Tamasa Puranas has to be read very, very carefully. If there is any doubt, you should always go to some gurus. They will give a clear explanation of what is the event being described there.
Right. Okay. Now there are two questions which are slightly, what do you say, controversial, like you can take it.
Yeah.
The first is that you said something on Arya Samaj, and Swami Dayananda said something. So this is not, I mean, the question is that this is not correct, that Arya Samaj says so, and Swami Dayananda never said anything like that, you know. So do you have any, what do you want to say on this?
Yeah, I honestly believe that Swami Dayananda Saraswati is an icon. He worked very much against these two religions. And in fact, without Arya Samaj, most of us here would have been some Christians or Muslim by now. The work he has done is excellent. But only for one thing, objection which I have is that Swami Dayananda Saraswati has discredited most of the Puranic literature. That is the only objection which I has. Apart from that, because of Arya Samaj, most of us here are Hindus now. Otherwise, we would have been Muslims or Christians by now.
Okay. Okay. Then there is the other question is, there is a difference of opinion on Tattvamasi Mahavakya between the Shankaracharya Bhashyam and Arya Samaja publication. Can you elaborate or clarify?
Yeah. See, basically, we learn from gurus, but basically, as a researcher, what I do is, for us, what scripture says is more important. For us, what Veda says is more important, what Purana says is more important. In the second line comes all the gurus. For me, you may disagree with me, but that is how I study. Adi Shankara has come at a time when our dharma was at a lowest ebb. There were 72 matas which are being described as non-Vedic, and Adi Shankara was one who has traveled India 4 times, and he has established 4 mathas. He has debated with all the people to bring out the truth. And after Adi Shankara, Madhvacharya or Ramanuja, they never criticized Adi Shankara. They have only put their view. And all these Dvaita, Advaita, Vishishta Advaita, all these concepts are there in Vedas, are there in Puranas. So basically, our scriptures never contradict each other. They never contradict each other. All our gurus have proposed these concepts at a time when they were required. Like during Adi Shankara, there were so many non-Vedic religions. During that time, Advaita was very important to be brought out, to unite people. So Shankara has done that. During Ramanuja's time, what was more necessary, he has brought out. So they never criticized themselves. Unfortunately, what we are doing today is, we are trying to criticize, we are trying to create differences between those gurus. But as far as I believe, the gurus never had a problem. Problem is, we are trying to create differences between them, which is not right. I think the elders like Babu Garu and others will agree with me. Gurus never had differences between them. We are trying to create differences between the gurus, which is not right.
Okay. The other question is, why does Lord Vishnu only take avatars and others don't?
Yeah. This is very, very important, because the purpose of Vishnu is that Vishnu is the only one who can take avatar. He is the basis of all avatars. Krishna doesn't take avatar, but during the Mahabharata time, Krishna has come to on earth as a Sampurna avatar. That's why we say he is the Sampurna avatar. There is a sloka in Purana which says that only Vishnu can take avatars. Nobody else can take avatars. That's why we call him as Sthitikarta. That's what we call Vishnu. He is the one who takes avatars. Nobody else will take avatar.
Okay, thank you. Which version of Devi Bhagavatam is being referred by you? We could also read this while praying and studying. So they want to know the version of Devi Bhagavatam.
I have a English version which is being published by Popular Links, I think, New Delhi based. Now we also have Telugu versions. But again, Devi Bhagavata is also like Rajasa Purana or Tamasa Purana. You have to be extra careful when we read them. So a lot of versions are there. I prefer that we should always refer to original Sanskrita sloka and also interpret them, because a lot of mistranslations are there today. See, I will give one example of Rasa Leela. This British people, they have translated Rasa Leela in English as sex sport. Does anybody agree with that? Rasa Leela is not sex sport. So, unfortunately, most of the people who have translated into Telugu, they take English translation into Telugu, which is again not right.
Right.
So, when you read any British, any Vedic literature, always refer to Sanskrit slokas and Sanskrit word. See, that's why we are struggling I think in social media, I am one of the person who is struggling to explain the real meaning of mantra and sloka. There are a lot of people like me who are struggling, because what these communists have done in the 70 years is, in the 70 years and before that, the British, likes of Max Muller, likes of Wilson, Griffith, they have mistranslated all these mantras, mistranslated all these Puranas, because most of the Puranas which are available, like Vishnu Purana, they're being translated by these British people. They have mistranslated all the slokas. That's why we should never refer to translations. We should go to the original sloka. That is a humble request.
Hope they got the answer which Devi Bhagavatam should be referred. Now, other question is, we have been taught Krishna is an avatar of Vishnu. Is the avatar greater than Vishnu?
Yes. So Krishna is the supreme being because he has existed even before Mahabharata. He has existed before Mahabharata. In fact, if you go to Devi Bhagavata also, there is a event where Lord Vishnu makes Krishna to come to him. I want to see you. If Vishnu has come as Krishna, why does Vishnu want to see Krishna? According to Devi Bhagavata. So, Krishna has not come from Vishnu. Vishnu has come from Krishna. This is the exact correct interpretation.
Is it true that Devi Bhagavatam is also Upanishad like Bhagavad Gita?
No, it is not Upanishad. It is actually one of the Upapuranas. It is not actual Purana. It's one of the Upapurana. So it is not. Why I have taken is Devi Bhagavata correlates with lot of scriptures. It will correlate with Mahabharata. It will correlate with Ramayana. It will correlate with Devi Bhagavata, Shiva Purana. So that's why I have taken a lot of slokas from Devi Bhagavata. It's a wonderful book. Right. It talks about multiverse. It talks about the parallel universe also. It is there. Okay. One event I have correlated where Devi will take Rudra, Maheshwara and Brahma to another universe. It is a classical example of parallel universe.
Right. Okay. Right.
Okay, if there are no questions,
I mean, there are, most of them are comments.
Okay. We'll take, some people who want to talk to Raju Garu.
Right.
One person is Nip Kumar Mehta. I think is pertaining to Arya Samaj. I'll unmute him. You can. Okay, Nip.
Good morning. With due regards, you said this is your whatever your lecture was there today was your interpretation of Vedas, Puranas, and Upanishads.
Yes.
Similarly, in Arya Samaj, in Satyas Prakash or other Arya Samaj teaching, is the interpretation of Swami Vivekananda. By criticizing, passing a comment on Arya Samaj's interpretation, you have placed yourself above Swami Vivekananda, saying that his interpretation of Veda is wrong and your interpretation is right. Here I beg to differ. Swami Vivekananda said exactly what is written in the Vedas and Puranas. He never criticized it. It was his interpretation, and your interpretation may be different from that. I respect your interpretation, but my request is please do not criticize interpretation of Swami Vivekananda, because many of us, and you yourself have said, today we are Hindus because of Swami Vivekananda. And I strongly believe the interpretation of Swami Vivekananda was correct and your interpretation is wrong. I beg to differ on you. And you have passed negative comments on many other also. I will not like to comment. Since you are here, you are addressing a gathering. You should refrain from passing strong negative comments on others. That's my opinion. Sorry if you are feeling bad.
No, sir.
Yeah.
No. I respect your feeling. I said that I respect most of the gurus. I learn from every one of them. I learn from every one of them. See, there are 21 interpretations of Veda, if you are aware of it. There are 21 interpretations of Vedas. That means there are 21 commentaries on Vedas. But 21 interpretations are not available. Today, what we are available is Mahidara. All these interpretations are there. Then again, there is Sanacharya. There is one called Kashyapa. Then I have 4 types of Vedas myself. And we know that each mantra in Veda has 3 types of interpretations. Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika, Adi Daiva. There are some scholars who say that there is 4th interpretation, which is Adhyatmika. Secret interpretation. So I mean no disrespect to Swami Dayananda, because I said without him we would have been into some other religion. See, each Veda mantra has minimum 3 types of interpretations. Adi Bhautika. So Adi, in most of the cases, Arya Samaj people have taken Adi Bhautika meaning, but they have not taken Adi Daivika and Adhyatmika meaning. That's why there is difference between different commentaries in Vedas. Then Sayanacharya is one who has given some Adi Bhautika and other meanings. Then there are some people like Kapali Shastri and another great personality is there. They have taken Adhyatmika meaning. So basically each mantra is different. The interpretation is different. For example, if I want to give, if I take Gava, Go, Gava, words like this, in Sanskrit, Gava means cows also. It also means knowledge. It also means something very, very bright, Gava, Tejasu. So in Sanskrit, one word has multiple meanings. There is one word in Sanskrit which is called Apa. Apa means nothing but water. It is supposed to have 106 meanings in Sanskrit. Can you believe any word in any language which has so many meanings? Apa has 106 meanings. So somebody translating Veda can take it as water. Somebody can take it as powers. Somebody will take it as Shakti. There are multiple meanings. That's why this confusion is there. So when Swami Dayananda is translating go as cows, he is right. Somebody like R.L. Kashyap translating Gava as not as cows but as powers, he is also right. Why? Because Sanskrit has multiple meanings. Multiple interpretations are also there. So it all depends on how you are interpreting mantras. I don't find fault with anybody, but you have to know that Sanskrit words has multiple meanings. It changes with the context. It changes with the context. That is my only version.
Yeah, okay then. Thank you. I think we can go for other people who want to raise questions.
Okay. Anybody else wants to talk to the speaker? Raise your hand so that or I'll just open the forum. You can unmute and talk.
భాస్కర్ రాజు గారి నమస్కారం అండి.
నమస్తే.
మామూలుగా ఉండే లెక్చర్స్ కంటే ఈ లెక్చర్ కొంచెం భిన్నంగా ఉంటుంది ఉన్నది కూడాను. It is not actually whatever is there,
right,
but it is the relevant to the context. Present days, how the people have taken the meanings అనే దానికి కొంత మీరు అర్థం ఇచ్చినట్టుగా అనిపిస్తోందండి. But whatever we are speaking, whatever we are thinking should be as relevant to the present generation. ఉంటే బాగుంటుంది. అలాగే మీరు ఇచ్చారు. ధన్యవాదాలండి.
Okay. Yeah. So in Telugu, what he said was this lecture is slightly different from other lectures. It is basically this course is a basic course giving fundamentals of our Vedic culture. So it is slightly above that. I must say that. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Raju Garu, for enlightening us on latest developments and what is going on in the media. And now, sir, with your permission, we will close. We will close with Prarthana and Janaganamana.
Sure, sir.
Okay. So now we will have Prarthana from Satyaji.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधनाः सधनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतं सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान्मा प्रमदः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वे जना सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु स्वस्ति
ధన్యవాదములండి.
ధన్యవాదాలు.
Now let us recite national anthem by Challa Chittibabu garu.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद
Jai
जय
Hind.
हिंद जय हिंद
ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిట్టిబాబు గారు.